You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans. So EJ DiMera really likes Belle Black, and he's enjoying their new relationship. But this week, she's walking out on him. Looks like she is done already. However, EJ may get the chance to buy Belle back, at least for a night. Will this be the best night of his life or his worst nightmare? Will EJ wind up with buyer's remorse? It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we are going to discuss how Belle might end up available to the highest bidder, and EJ swoops in to grab her. But first, please click subscribe if you are not following us. So, to set this up, University Hospital is circling the drain. They're headed into bankruptcy, which would leave Salem without a medical center. That also means Kayla, Marlena, and Sarah Horton would be looking for a new place to work. That's why Cat Greene came up with the idea that they should generate some good PR and try and raise some funds to save the hospital. And then Cat and Chad started brainstorming, as Marlena recommended that they do. And they're talking about a way to get a big cash influx to save the place. So they came up with this concept of a family-friendly street fair, complete with carnival games and a dunking booth, and then they were scrapping the dunking booth idea. But another bigger idea that Cat and Chad were talking about was a bachelor and bachelorette auction. Given all the hot romances going on in Salem at any given time among people that aren't married to each other, I think that sounds like a good idea. You know, maybe Kat's already thinking about saving up her paychecks to purchase a date with Chad. She told him she was working on squashing her feelings for him, but we all know Kat's going to keep crushing, and she is growing on Chad. So those feelings may spark for him soon. But I want to focus on one of the couples that I'm really enjoying right now, EJ DiMera and Belle Black. So we had Belle just raging at EJ for his alleged role in Ava's kidnapping. Now, mind you, EJ did not kidnap Ava. He just found her while he was in the midst of his own kidnapping scheme that she doesn't know about. Ava doesn't know who he took. Belle doesn't know anything about it, at least not yet. But, you know, Belle definitely believed her brother Brady Black when he said EJ knew and was complicit. But Kristen DiMera is working on Brady to get Ava to stay quiet about what went down. They are both worried about Rachel being taken from them by Child Protective Services. And at first, Brady seemed to think the Salem PD arresting Kristen would be fine. He thought that he would wind up with little Rachel and it'd be cool. But Kristen just reminded him CPS said any type of shenanigan would result in them both losing their daughter. So that put a bit of fear into Brady, and he's going to work on Ava to recant her statements, revise them, things like that. I can tell you, I think Brady is going to guilt Ava with his fear of losing his psychotic little daughter. And of course, you know, Brady's going to get Ava to cave because, first of all, Ava's no saint. Second, her dead son, Charlie, was 1,000% worse than Rachel could ever be. You know, he's a murdery rapist, so Ava shouldn't be a hypocrite. So I guess Brady is going to convince her to, you know, revise her statement, get charges dropped, and that's also going to get EJ off the hook. But will it get him back in Belle's good graces? Well, I'm not too sure about that because Brady may tell Belle the truth, even though she's the DA, you know, and just tell her that I had to get Ava to do this so CPS doesn't take my daughter. And that means Belle is going to have to back off from prosecuting Kristen, even if she knows the truth. You know, maybe the woman in white, Rachel Blake, will still go up the creek. I think she needs a timeout in Bayview. But Belle may have to drop this, but that doesn't mean she is going to buy the act that EJ is innocent. And of course, if Belle knew that EJ was at Blake House to stash kidnapped Rafe Hernandez, well, that would be a deal breaker. That'd be the end of them. Later this week, Belle goes fussing to her mom, Marlena, about EJ. But if you remember, Doc warned her about the guy. She was horrified to find EJ in Belle's bed under her roof and said, don't bring him back here again. So I'm very interested to see if EJ's dimples and his overall sexiness have Belle forgetting herself and hopping back into bed with him, even after Brady accused EJ of knowing about Ava's kidnapping. Either way, what I'd like to see is Belle signed up for the charity auction as one of the bachelorettes up for sale. If they put her on the block, her ex-husband, Sean Brady, might consider bidding on her because it's charity and just to be a nice guy. And, Jada and Sean have that complicated thing now that Rafe is, back, even though he doesn't know who Rafe is. But I could see if she's up on the block, EJ pulling out his big fat checkbook and making a sizable bid on Belle. And if she's mad at him and stops seeing him by then, that's even better, because EJ would probably bid such a big pile of cash because he can afford to. And it would put Belle in a position where she can't turn it down because the hospital is desperate for money to keep the doors open. EJ would basically have Belle trapped into a date with him, no matter that she wouldn't like it. And the thing is, EJ really does like her. He told Belle this is not a casual thing for him. And of course, he knows there's going to be hell to pay once Sammy Brady finds out he's romancing her little sister again. But EJ's willing to deal with Hurricane Sammy as long as he can keep Belle in his life and in his bed. And let's face it, also in EJ's dark heart, because that seems to be involved. He genuinely cares about Belle. So if she goes up on the auction block as part of the fundraiser to save University Hospital, I can totally see EJ bidding on her. But you know what would be even funnier? If Belle was not up for sale at the auction, but EJ was as one of the hot bachelors. I mean, he's part of a prominent local family, he's hot, and his brother Chad is going to be heavily involved in the fundraiser. So I could see Chad pressuring EJ to agree to be part of the bachelor auction. And if that were the case, I would like to see Belle bid on EJ, but then have it not be a proper date, do something terrible, make him clean the toilets at the police station, detail her car, give her a pedicure, anything except for a proper date night. And you know what? I bet that EJ would be willing to at least do the pedicure and maybe clean out her car if it meant getting to spend time with Belle after she has been so angry at him. She raged, she's storming out, and he doesn't want her to go. He is just in a bad position. Arnold blindsided him when he came back. EJ didn't mean for any of this stuff to happen. And the EJ that participated in that Arnold thing, that's an EJ from a decade ago, to be fair. He's been through a lot since then. And in the end, I just don't think EJ's going to let Belle get away from him so easily. And I think this charity bachelorette auction might turn out to be really sizzling for these two, but we'll have to wait and see.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.